Welcome back to Your Road to Home, your guide to the people, places, and heart behind our community here in the Carbon Valley. I'm Kendra Badgekar with LPT Realty, here with
Maxine Carey of Vectra Bank, and we are here with Lida from Head to Toe Coaching. And
Hi. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You are a staple in the Carbon Valley.
Oh, I don't know about that, but thank you.
You've been around. You're very active in the community. You're doing lots of volunteer projects.
Yeah, for the last probably 7 years, I've been really focusing on not just being in the community, but being active in the community.
Yeah.
How's that changed your business?
It's actually probably changed me more than it's changed my business, because I've always just lived in communities and then would leave the community. But now it's fun to walk around and know people and go to stores that I'm like, oh, I know the owner of, or I walk into a restaurant and I know somebody. So it's really impacted me more than it has my business, which makes me feel part of something.
Absolutely.
Instead of just living somewhere. Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, why don't you tell us about Head to Toe Coaching? What is that?
So Head to Toe Coaching is a health and wellness transformation coaching company. And I really help people who are overwhelmed with the barrage of information out there about health and wellness, probably nutrition and fitness, and the frustration of, I can't change, I can't make anything stick, I've tried before and I keep failing. So I pull all that together because I'm certified as a nutritionist, a personal trainer, a health coach with a specialty in prediabetes and weight loss. And so all of that allows me to look at the entire person from head to toe. And I'm really all about creating sustainable habits. Looking at things and how can we incorporate or stack habits on top of each other so that it just becomes part of your daily living.
I like that. That's huge, because when people take on a weight loss challenge for themselves or whatever, it seems so daunting at first. So I love that you just take that one little step at a time and show people that's really just one small decision, right? Not a whole
It
big
is. Yeah, one
overnight
small
change.
thing.
Yeah.
And I like to have people ask themselves when they want to make a change, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the likelihood of you doing that?
Nice.
And if that number is 7 or higher, reframe the change and get it to a point where it's like a 6 or below, because then you're going to get it done. So you don't want to set yourself up for not succeeding right away.
Yeah.
So when you set an intention or a goal, one goal, ask yourself, what's the likelihood of me getting this done?
That's awesome.
So are you checking in with your clients on a daily, weekly?
Oh, yeah. Some of them,
You're probably not scheduling hour appointments, right? It's like 5-minute check-ins, 15-minute check-ins. Like, how does that look for head to toe?
It looks different for every person. The most engagement I probably really had is with somebody trying to learn to drink water. It's amazing how many people don't like to drink water.
Absolutely.
And she woke up, we'd wake up in the morning, she'd say, okay, I'm starting my timer for an hour and 20 minutes. I'd set my timer, and every hour and 20 minutes when it went off, I'm like, are you drinking?
Nice.
So I can be that involved, or I could be less involved with a daily or,
Weekly
every
check-ins?
weekly at most, usually when I'm working with people, but often every 2 or 3 days, just to say, hey, how's it going? This was your intention.
So how long does it change? How long does it take to change the mindset? Like, if someone's at a 7, how long does it take you to get them to a 6?
Good question.
Well, that's a great question. And it really depends on how many layers of the onion you need to peel away.
Sure.
So if somebody's working on one thing, like drinking water or adding vegetables, that could take actually weeks to actually change.
Yeah, to break a
And there's
habit.
this concept of 28 days and you change a habit. But the research actually says that the harder the habit is that you're trying to change, the longer it can be. So some things can take a week, some things can take a year.
Right.
So that's a great question, because it depends. And so that's what I encourage, is just being kind to yourself, because often it's taken 30, 40, 50 years maybe to get to where we are. And then like we want results overnight.
Right.
We're just like, okay, I'm ready. Oh yeah, I ate really well yesterday. How come I didn't lose 5 pounds? Like,
Right.
so be patient and kind.
That's exactly right. It's funny. I just had this conversation with my husband the other day, because I just recently had the baby, as you know, and I'm not where I want to be yet. And he's like, it took you 9 months to grow this baby. She's only been out of your body for 6 months. Just relax. So I love that you make that a point to tell people, because that's very true. It's a good reminder for sure.
Yeah.
We're our worst critics.
We are our worst critics.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. Yeah.
Yes, that's
I know
amazing.
I am a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So outside of coaching, you're an avid runner, cyclist, triathlon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Hiker. Yeah. I
All
love
the
being
things.
active. Yeah.
That's awesome. When was your last race, and do you have any races coming up?
So when I turned 60, I trained for an Ironman and I broke my wrist. So that was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Then the year after that, I trained for another Ironman because I was so disappointed that I couldn't finish that one. And I got through 6 miles of the run and didn't have enough time, so I didn't complete that one. So I've taken a year
amazing.
off, and I think my next one's going to be at age 65.
And these are full triathlons. These are not the halves. These
Right.
are the full, or the Ironman, excuse me, the full Ironmans.
Yeah, and so an
gosh.
Ironman distance is a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and a 26.2 mile run.
Holy moly. Yeah.
And
that's
this summer, I'm
incredible.
just having fun with a half. I'm just kind of training with a friend. She's racing. I'm not. I'm just going out for the fun of riding on a
Keeping
bike
your
for
body
hours.
moving. That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what I was going to say.
Well, because for me, triathlons, it's not the race. I don't actually like racing. I like the journey.
Yeah.
I like training with people
Yeah.
and being on I know it's going to sound silly, but like an 8-hour bike ride with somebody. There's a lot that happens
Oh, I
in 8
bet.
hours.
Yeah, you can really get to know
So-
somebody on that.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever fallen on your bike by forgetting to unclip? Because I've done that. And that's the worst.
And when I first started, I ran into a parked car. How's that for
right? I mean,
I was so
everybody-
busy looking at my feet, then I
Yes.
like, boom, and then I fell over. I was like,
think-
well, that was brilliant.
I think everybody has a good story like that who's ever tried road cycling, but where you have to actually clip in. Everybody's
Yeah.
got a story. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
four-way
funny.
stop signs with cars all around.
Yes.
Yeah, like
That's when I fell
That's
off.
the way
mine.
to-
Yeah, that's where I fell. Yeah.
Good job.
Yep.
That's the way to do it.
Everybody watched. Everybody laughed. It was
Yeah.
great. Yeah. Love that. Oh my goodness.
I don't have a story like that. Yeah.
That's okay.
we all have some sort of embarrassing story. It may not be around athletics or, I've been behind runners that just like let it loose and fart. And then you're behind them and you're like, well, that was kind of funny. So it doesn't have to be like you fell off your bike.
Yeah, right. Everybody's got something.
All sorts of things. Yeah. That's awesome. So you can help train people who want to,
Yeah.
do an Ironman at 60. You can kind of help them with that.
Yeah, I love the female athlete that, especially because we've told ourselves we can't, and we've heard it for a long time. And the older you are, the more ingrained it is in you that you can't,
Yeah.
right? Because we weren't athletes. I'm a senior citizen now, and athletics was not the same then as it is now.
Right.
So I really want that woman who wants to try. If it's a 5K and they're just fearful of it, I know you can do it. We just need to break it down. You're not going to go out and run 5K on the first day, but run 30 seconds. Like, that's the kind of person that I want. I want somebody who's going to cross the finish line and be crying and so happy because they're so like, I did it, versus the athlete who's looking to improve by a minute per mile.
Yeah.
Right.
Love that.
Yeah, that doesn't interest me.
Love
so
that.
much.
Do you have
So-
openings in your schedule now?
Yeah, I
Something
do.
like that? Good.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Okay.
And this is a great time of year to do it. There's a lot of activities going on.
Right.
A lot of great hikes. People want to hike 14ers. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. It's a lot of bucket lists.
And I've seen that you're very active in the 5K that they just had in Firestone, right?
Yeah, that's the Carbon Valley Half Marathon and 5K. It's
Yeah.
the 14th annual year that they've done it. We've raised, after probably this year, over $200,000 from our community from this event, and it's gone to children's research for autism. And with that money, they've done vitamin D research on autism and other researches. So they actually gave us a report back on how our funds are impacting the research on autism. So I've been on the board for 3 years now. Prior to that, I ran it the previous 5. But
That's amazing.
How many
Yeah.
runners did you have this year? Do you know that?
we don't quite know the statistics yet, but I'm guessing around 400 or so.
Wow.
We had more vendors than we ever have. We've got an awesome board team. So it's really a hardworking team that's really pulling all of this together. So, yeah, we had, I think, 13 vendors, 400 runners.
So if anybody has interest in that, they can reach out to you on that.
Oh,
also.
absolutely. Monica Vickers is a name in the community that I'm sure a lot of people know too, but reach out to me. We look for volunteers, we look for sponsors, we look for runners. Yeah, we will not say no. And this year we had Smuckers donate. So there was
That's awesome.
Smuckers, if you like Smuckers.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't love a peanut butter, a PB&J's?
Right?
Little
Well, they have a
uncrushable, right?
new peanut butter and honey one.
Oh,
they do?
That would be my jam right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be your honey.
Yep. For sure.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. What else? Oh, sorry. Go
Sorry.
ahead.
And they have peanut butter, or they have raspberry jam too.
They have peanut butter and
gosh.
jail. Oh, did they have raspberry?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
Let's
just
see.
launched one of those. But anyway, we'll stay on track with you.
Yeah. I told you guys I could talk.
Yeah.
So,
We love that about you. What else are
Thank
you
you.
doing with the community? I know you're involved with the chamber and you've got some other things up your sleeve that you're working on. Can you share a little bit?
yeah, so I am super proud of being the founder of what I'm calling the Carbon Valley Complete Wellbeing Collaborative. And that is an organization that I'm trying to pull together where we have practitioners and coaches in the health and wellness arena pooling together to be resources for each other because we're often sole entrepreneurs or small businesses. But more importantly, be a resource to the community because it is imperative that for me that I deliver the message that there is more to our health and wellness than going to a doctor, getting diagnosed with something and going on a pharmaceutical. There are options out there. You can reverse disease, you can do all these things. So I wanted to create a community where we're going to go out into the public, we're going to have events. We're looking at doing a library series every month on gut health or how to eat through the holidays, all kinds of things that people can come and ask questions.
That's awesome.
So we can be a resource for them.
So how's that going? Are you ready to launch it? Or are
We're
you still-
getting close. We're looking at website names now, and we've got about 6 practitioners and coaches that are pretty, solidified. And so probably in the next month or two, maybe we'll be going out with a website and really kind of advertising it out in the community.
That's
So I'm
exciting.
super excited
very
about
cool.
that.
Be on the lookout for that. That's
Yeah,
awesome. And you'll
yeah.
be hosting that at the library, you said?
Yeah, I'm working with the library now. We're trying to figure out how it will work, whether it'll be they'll sponsor it as well or we'll just host it in the big room. We're not quite sure yet, but we've got a list of agenda items and different practitioners hosting the events and
Love that.
yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your certification with the health and wellness with diabetes, because you said you were certified in that, right? So there's
Yeah.
a lot of childhood diabetes and parents having to learn to navigate that with
Yeah.
cooking and reading all the things on the back of a package or whatever cooking. So what does that look like?
Yeah, so being a pre-diabetes specialist or lifestyle coach isn't probably much different than being a lifestyle coach. It comes down to the fundamentals of what are you eating, how are you moving, how are you sleeping? Because if you're not sleeping, sleep is when you heal and repair your body.
Right.
So if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, you need sleep. You need to have amplified or high levels of vitamin D. So those are the fundamentals. And stress, of course, plays a huge role in this. So it's kind of the fundamentals. The biggest challenge that I see with prediabetes or diabetics is that they identify to the disease, meaning, oh, my mother's a diabetic, so of course I am. And I'm like, no, you're diabetic because your mom had you eat unhealthy food when you were a kid and now it's the only thing you know. So you're just continuing the bad lifestyle choices.
Right.
So we need to disconnect our mindset from identifying I am the disease. Hi, my name is Lida, I'm a diabetic.
Right.
Versus hi, I'm Lida and I'm active in all these things. And oh, by the way, I have diabetes. I am not a type 1 diabetic specialist. That's a little different, but because you can't really reverse that, but you could nearly 85% of the time reverse diabetes, prediabetes for sure.
That's amazing.
So what if somebody doesn't have it in their family and they don't have any education about it? You can help with that, like
Absolutely, 100%.
a child, adult, whatever.
Yeah.
I've been diagnosed with diabetes. Like you can help with that. Like what's the first change someone should make? Obviously, food and exercise, food. Like what would you say?
The easiest probably is food because we need to eat to live. We really should be exercising or moving every day, but it is easy. And I do grocery store tours So I'll take you to the grocery store. I'll help you read the labels. I'll help you understand the difference between added sugar and just sugar, because some foods just have sugar, like tomato sauce. Tomatoes have sugar. Milk has sugar, but it's the added sugar. So I teach them how to read labels. And I follow a different principle called crowding out, meaning most people can't deal with an overhaul, or they go on a complete restricted diet. That's just crazy,
For sure,
right?
yeah.
So I approach it of let's add in. So if this is what you're eating now, let's add in a fruit or a vegetable at each meal. And as the more and more you crowd in the healthy foods, the lesser healthy foods start to just wean out, because our bodies know what it needs. And but I do recommend, of
pretty
course,
great. That's-
getting rid of the sugars, like, read the labels, don't eat candy, avoid added sugars, things like that. But
So you'll go to the grocery store with me to help me.
Yeah.
But will you do the grocery shopping for me?
no, and I won't cook for you either.
That's where Instacart comes in. Yeah, she'll teach you what to get, and then Instacart can.
Yeah.
I mean, eating doesn't need to be complicated.
Right.
Right? Eat whole foods. Avoid the processed
Right.
stuff. Everything converts to sugar. Bread, pasta, everything processed converts to sugar. Eat whole food. Get that fiber in so that you have regular bowel movements. And yeah.
I love it. It's surprising to me today how many children, I notice just because I'm in that era and right now with my kids, don't eat just raw fruits and vegetables. When we have friends over at our house and I make lunch for them or whatever, it's just a protein and raw fruits and vegetables most of the time for lunch, and their friends are just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you don't eat
Where's your
grapes
mac and cheese?
carrots? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where's the mac and cheese? Where's the pizza? I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
and it frustrates me that parents get cranky because their kids aren't, like, they'll go out and they'll want chicken fingers.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, let's pause. Where are the kids learning how to eat?
Yeah.
And I love working with families. I've worked with families. I've worked with mother-daughter teams. I've even worked with a 20-year-old and a father. So I love the collaboration effort of the family, because lifestyle is a family event, like
Yeah.
your family. Like your kids don't know anything other than the way they eat.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
that's
it's
the way
self-taught at home.
you
Yeah.
eat and Blake eats, right?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. I love that.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
That's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's good. Awesome. Well, we should do some rapid fire.
Yeah, let's get to know Lida.
Okay.
Okay. All right. When you're not coaching, you're not training, what's Lida doing? Where can we find you?
Reading or in my quilt room.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I spend a lot of hours watching TV in my quilt room.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's where
Probably
you
a good time.
relax.
Yeah, until I screw it up and have to take it out and screw it up, take it out, and then I get kind of cranky. But yeah, I love color. I love putting things together. So it's my quiet time.
Have you seen? I've seen this girl on the internet. She makes rope rugs. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Those are kind of cool.
I've actually tried to make those. No.
Are they hard? Quilts are better.
Quilts are better.
Quilts are kind of mindless for me. The rope stuff, I had to really concentrate, and the things going up and down on the machine, and I've been so close, I've bonked my head, my nose, and my I'm like no.
So do you do that for your enjoyment, or do you make quilts for other people?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
I love it just because I love it, and I now have been donating a lot of my quilts kind of often to organizations looking for fundraisers. I do sell my quilts on Etsy, and I make money on Etsy too from selling quilts every here and
That's
there.
awesome.
And I make custom quilts. So I've had people whose spouses passed away, and he collected all of the shirts.
That's awesome.
And we put together a quilt for his 2 grandkids so that they had grandma close to them.
That's awesome.
So those kinds of things make me very emotional. But yeah, so I do
Absolutely.
custom quilts. T-shirt quilts are
You
very
do that for
popular.
seniors, Anybody?
Anybody.
Senior. You did that one for a husband or something, didn't you?
I've done mini quilts. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we okay to tell people to reach out to you?
Yeah, sure. Reach out to me.
Yeah.
Find her on Etsy.
Hey, just come to me. I'll
We'll get your
take care of
Etsy
you. Whatever your problem is, come my way. If I can't do it, I know who to send you to. All right, there we go.
There we go. I love that. I love that. What's one of your favorite books you've read recently?
I just finished the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins.
good.
Very,
So
very
good.
interesting.
Yes.
It's a good reminder.
We were just talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blissness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Networking group.
Yeah.
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 And I'm reading a book about Cleopatra.
Oh, cool.
I love Egypt and Cleopatra, so I'm reading about Cleopatra in Egypt. So I usually have 3 or 4 books going on at the same time.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you're a hiker. Have you
Yes.
done 14ers, or what's your favorite trail? Where are you going?
Tomorrow, for example, I'm going to Pitcher Rock right outside of Lyons, and that connects to Hall Ranch over on the other side of in Boulder on Left Hand Canyon. So we're training to do an over and a back, which will be
Nice.
about a 16-mile hike or so.
Okay. How long does that take? About.
Well, I'm not exactly speedy. I'm more of a tortoise. I probably walk at about 2.5 miles an hour, 2 miles
It's
an hour.
not how fast you get there. It's
Oh,
that's-
yeah,
You
yes.
finish, yeah. It's just that you finish. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I
That's
agree.
awesome. That's awesome.
So
What's one of your favorite restaurants in the Carbon Valley?
we like Jalisco's by King Supers.
That is a good one.
We go there so often that my husband hasn't even sat down and we've got a cold beer on the table.
That's awesome.
So they know
And she says the usual, and he's uh-huh.
That's
that's
great.
awesome. That's great.
That is great. And how long have you been? You've been around in the Carbon Valley for a while, right?
Yeah, since 2009. So we did the math before.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. So 16 years I've been in
That's
Carbon.
awesome.
I moved here from Connecticut.
Okay. Very cool.
And why did you choose the Carbon Valley? Like,
Well, my husband helped me choose that. I lived in Arvada before I met him.
Okay.
And yeah.
so you came out.
So I
followed
moved to
him.
Carbon Valley in 2013 is when I moved in with him.
Very cool.
So
Have you guys been in the same neighborhood?
same house.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How much has your neighborhood changed in that amount of time?
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Riding is a lot different. Bicycle riding.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Much more traffic.
Yes.
But I love the area. It's really great.
That's great.
But you've seen it evolve and,
I have.
become, some might say too big, but, it's more of a community, like you said. And especially you getting out in the community, you getting to know businesses where, it's, hey, Lida, hey, Norm, how you doing? That
Yeah.
sort of thing. And
Yeah.
it's quaint and it's, it feels like home, right?
It does. Yeah. We're talking about retirement. We don't know. We'll probably have 2 homes, one here and one somewhere else. So we'll see what happens in the next, 10 years, but might be ready for us to
Just
move into.
maybe a change.
Yeah, I don't know. Retirement's a funny thing, and that's a whole other podcast.
That is another podcast for
That's
sure.
for sure.
Well, Edith, we sure do thank you for your time.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yeah. Thanks for
We
being here.
loved getting to know you. We loved introducing you more to the community. Hopefully some people out there who don't know Lida will reach out and, get a coffee together or something.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah. Well, that's a wrap for today on Your Road to Home. We hope you enjoyed getting to know Lida. Reach out and we'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.
Hi.